Good afternoon, fellow Gooners. Happy Saturday and welcome to today's Gunner Talk on another match day. Second step up in our proper pre-season against proper opposition. Plenty of reasons to be positive, so let's crack on with it. First and foremost, PSG are our opponents today. Maybe not their strongest side, but still a worthy opponent and another level up again for me. We roll with 4-3-3 again, which I find very interesting. And like I've said from the start, I think that'll be our definite starting formation for the majority of this season. So let's give you the lineup. Leno in goal, Bellerin at right back, Socrates and Mustafi centre back pairing, left back for Kolasinac, El Neni centre defensive mid, Guendouzi in the box to box, Ozil as our attacking centre mid, right wing for Mickey, left wing for Iwobi, and down the middle Oba. So let's crack on with rating them and how they got on. Leno, very solid, very comfortable on the ball, made a cracking save, which was, he was a bit of a passenger again, but it was a cracking save that he made. And those saves, although they're easy, for me you've got to look a little bit more in depth to it of where the ball goes when they make it. And for me, although it wasn't, it was a sort of camera save, one for the back pages, he managed to still get it clear of any more danger, and that's what we need to look at. He cleared it way away from someone getting an easy tap in, so that was a nice little positive to come out with what was already a positive. And he's definitely a sweeper keeper, in the sort of Neuer mould, and what Ederson's done at City. Football's evolving, and that's what you sort of need of a goalkeeper now. Not just making saves, distributing the ball well, and he's brilliant at it. A huge upgrade for me on what we've already got goalkeeper wise in Cech and Ospina. Dave's obviously going Cech. I'm not too fussed whether he stays or not anyway. But yeah, really impressive. Can't wait to see this guy as number one, and I think seeing that he started both games is a big indication for me that that'll be the case. So another thumbs up for him today. Although not a ton to do, what he had to do he did well. Bellerin, solid again. I just want him to find that form that he had a couple of years ago where he was the most exciting right back on the planet. That's not disappeared, it's still in there. It's just his final ball for me, he's still really trash, and he's got to sort it out and get it worked on. But yeah, he was good, and you know what you're going to get from him. And I just hope he finds that form again, and when he does, we've got one hell of a player there. And after his comments yesterday about he's never thought about leaving, brilliant news. And yeah, I can't wait to see him really, solidify his position, and this year under a bit of pressure from Lecce, and helping him, guide him to be a better player as well, under his tutelage hopefully. So yeah, good for me. Socrates, I said to you guys when we were talking about signing him, it wasn't one that filled me with excitement. And the jury's still out for me on this one. I don't think he'll be our starting centre back. He doesn't fill me with any confidence at all. It's only pre-season, so I'm not going to ride anyone too hard already, because you can't say someone's brilliant in pre-season and say someone's terrible. You can't have it both ways. He's got no pace, has he? It's like he's running in treacle, a bit like Mertesacker. And I think if we're going to use him, we're going to have to use him in a pairing with someone quicker. And that's like what we had in Koscielny and Mertesacker, is he reads the game well, but then you've got Koscielny wiping his arse when he doesn't manage to get there first, and it leaves us exposed. So I think he'll do a job, and he's an older head with tons of experience, and plenty. Like I said the other day in a Gunner Talk, there's more to him than just a signing. And helping the younger lads progress. So although it's not the best performance, and there's loads to work on with him, I'm not giving up on him yet at all. So it was if I had to rate him, it'd be a 5 out of 10 for me today. Mustafi, another bright point for me. Two really solid back-to-back performances. He didn't have a ton to do, but what he had to do, he did really well. I think he's our best centre-back. And he polarises opinions. I know a lot of you were quite happy to see him go. I think that would have been a massive mistake. And I think a lot of you have quite easily forgot that when he turned up, we went 20-21 games unbeaten. That's not disappeared. And he's young, but he's super experienced, and he's a man who's got a huge point to prove this year. And I only think we're going to get a big season out of him. So yeah, he was really big thumbs up for me again, and one of our better players today. The same as the other day, should I say, against Atletico. So yeah, big thumbs up for me for him. Kolasinac, he was decent. I'm glad he's getting time on the pitch, because for me he should be our starting left back. He's a better player than Monreal. I know a few of you will disagree with that, but that's just my point of view, guys. And like I said, as far as our left backs go, he's the future. Monreal's been the past, and he might have been the present, but he's not the future. Kolasinac is, so we've got to start with him. He was doing his bit. He's a lot like Bellerin. Great energy, great engine, but his final ball's crap and he's got to sort it out. I want to see, Baldy working with these two, or whoever in the coaching department doing a lot of work with them. It was interesting, the Socrates said the other day, or yesterday, that Unai's been concentrating on the defence, and that's, I think he's right. We know our midfield's good, we know our attack is shit hot, our defence is our real problem, and that's the one that needed working on. 4 away wins last year's crap, but we were good at home. We don't have to do a ton to be a much better side this year and really be in top 4 contention. So Unai knows, I know that Unai knows, you guys know that Unai knows. I trust this guy, he's meticulous, and I find that's great that all of his work that he'll be doing at the moment mainly is focused on the defence. Kolasinac, yeah, the mistake for the penalty, that really upset me, I'll be honest, because that was the sort of tackle that you'd see on a park playing field on a Sunday morning pub football, where your fat still hungover centre back just takes someone out because they can't be arsed tackling somebody and tracking back, and that made me nervous, because that's the sort of thing you do on instinct, and I don't think it matters what game you do that in. You can say, alright, it's only pre-season, it don't matter, but to me, if he got the chance again, he'd still do it because it's on instinct. So that worries me a little bit about him. It's not all plain sailing with him, but it's one downside to a lot of positives from him. One huge positive I did to see today was in barking orders, which I'd never noticed before. Straight after the goals, look lads, get in your positions, hold the shape, stay focused, stay controlled, don't start playing like tiki-taka, like Brazil and we're 6-0 up. Let's just work on holding results, because that's been our problem. We get sucker punched so many times just after scoring goals and getting overconfident. So I thought that was really good to see in him, and a huge positive. So that was a big thumbs up for me, and just that one downside of that tackle, but like I say, I'll let it go for now. Just keep it in the back of my mind. El Nene, decent. He's not someone who's going to get you dead excited and get your pants tight, is he? But he's workmanlike, and he's like a Kante, where I'm not comparing him to Kante, should I say, but he does the dirty work that goes unappreciated and unsung, which allows your more attacking players to do their best work. So he was somebody who I wasn't asked that left or stayed. I think he's someone that we can utilise really well off the bench and in cup games. So yeah, thumbs up for me. I think he does the basics well, and that's all you want from him. So yeah, he did well. Ozil, he looked quite sharp. He wasn't busting a gut running about, but obviously he's only just come back, so I wasn't expecting that. So I was just looking at his actual play, and he's just Mesut, and he's world class. He's control, and his vision and his passing stunning. And that was the same today, really. Lovely little nudge in for his goal. And that little partnership was interesting for me in the first half between him and Oba. Link up looked really good. And Oba's on the pace already. Mesut isn't quite, but once he gets on the pace, that's going to be a frightening link up for me. So that was a big bonus. We still stand behind you, Mesut. We all love you, mate. Interesting, he got the armband. Maybe he could be one of his 5 captains. Who knows? I'm not a fan of this, giving people the armband just to keep them happy. I think Unai should do it on who he thinks are his captains. Maybe he sees that in Mesut, who knows, but I don't want to see him get it just to keep him and get his chin up and get his pecker up. I want to see him get it if he believes he's a leader, and I'm not sure he is. Football wise he's a leader, voice wise maybe not, but yeah, good introduction back in the team for Mesut. The man, probably my man of the match again today. Pass to Guendouzi on the right hand side, pass to Guendouzi on the left hand side. He's gonna just tackle, maybe jump and cross, and now we've got him, we can rock and dance. Pass to Guendouzi on the left hand side, pass to Guendouzi on the right hand side. He's gonna tackle, maybe jump and cross, and now we've got him, we can rock and dance. What a guy this boy is. What a signing. No wonder people are trying to get autographs with Sven if this is the sort of players he's going to bring in the door. Fuck me. 7 or 8 million or whatever we've paid for this lad, compared to what equivalent players people are paying 40, 50 million for. Absolutely fabulous. Slightly different role for him today, which I thought was another really interesting point from the first half. El Neni was centre defensive mid, which he was in the last game against Atletico. Today he was sort of box to box. Fabulous. Like I said to you guys, so serene. Doesn't look like he's doing a ton, but he covers a shitload of ground really quick. Absolutely fabulous. Absolute Rolls Royce of a player. Great movement, great passing range, great vision. And like I say, although he looks quite thin and not bulked up, he's great at using his body to shelter the ball from a tackle and winning easy fouls as well. He's playing his way definitely into first team contention for me if he carries on like this. He's sort of a mix of maybe Torreira and Xhaka all in one. Fabulous, like I said the other day, I'm going to run out of superlatives for this lad really quick. Great all-round game, and he didn't fade as bad as he did the other day. He got switched, I think, a little bit to more centre defensive mid-second half, and just fabulous. What a player. I'm really excited for the future with this lad. Mickey, he looked off the pace again for me. He looked really rusty. Cracking through ball to Oba for the goal that we got. He just split their team in half in one ball. Not sure where he's going to line up in the team this year, whether it's down the middle or out wide, who knows. He just looks off the pace. I think he's one that'll just warm up as we go through the pre-season. The more games he gets, the better he'll get. He's a really quality player, someone I've got all the time in the world for. So although not particularly great today, I'm not going to give him any stick for it. It's pre-season, so that's that one. Iwobi, his first introduction back into the squad, the talk of his new contract. He was played out on a wing again today for me, so I'm not going to ride him because I promise you guys I'm not going to hammer him for being played out of position and a square peg in a round hole. But his touch is fucking awful. It's like Lukaku's, this kid has got all the talent in the world. He's close control, he's dribbling, his skills are fabulous, but he's really got to start maturing this year for me. If he gets this new 5-year contract, for me he's got 1 or 2 years to do it, or he's got to go out the door. But I want to see him down the middle if we're keeping him, because that's where he's got to play. For me, he's not a winger, and I think that's why he struggled again out wide. And he's really got to tidy up that touch for me. But like I say, not going to hammer him. Ton of talent, just not showing it at the moment. Hopefully this year's the year. Everything crossed. Oba's Oba, isn't he? Always grinning, always laying it all down on the pitch. Man's faster than Usain Bolt without the chicken nuggets. It's crazy. He's just so lively. He's like a cheetah on the Serengeti that spots a meerkat just pop out. Oh, he's like, boom! He's just after it. Electric burst of pace. It's just absolutely frightening. And I always imagine a little cartoon puff of dust behind him when he goes. He's just gone. He looked really lively down the middle first half. He looked a bit cheesed off. He went down the left in the second half, but he's another one I think who's going to have to swallow it a little bit this year. And I think we're looking to utilise players that are on the pitch and shuffle them around rather than waste substitutions in different situations in games. So I think he's going to get a crack down the middle and maybe alternate with him and Laka. And then at times he's going to play out wide when needed. So big thumbs up for Oba again. Great movement. Great passing in the first half and a lovely little layoff to Mesut for the goal. So, thumbs up. That's the first half over. It was tidy, if not exhilarating. That one issue I've still got with us, though, is switching off to that one ball over the shoulder and just a simple run and a ball over the top. We've really got to iron this shit out because it's going to cost us in big games. It cost us a lot last year and it'll cost us the same again this year if we don't sort it. So that's the one for me, but like Socrates said, that's what Unai's working on, and if anyone's going to iron it out, this man will with his coaching staff, so I'm not going to go on about it. Second half we had subs, bang on half time. Martinez swapped for Leno, Rambo on for El Neni, and Laka on for Iwobi. About 63 minutes in, Mustafi swapped for Chambers, Papa swapped for Holding, Mickey swapped for Nelson and Ozil for Smith Rowe, and then about on 75 minutes, Eddie on for Oba, Guendouzi off for Willock and Ainsley on for Kolasinac. So for me we lined up 4-3-3 again, Emmy in goal, Bellerin the only person to play all 90 minutes, which was interesting. Holding and Callum are back two, Ainsley at left back, Willock, Rambo and Emile in the centre of the park, and then Reece right wing, Laka down the middle, Eddie left wing. So let's crack on with how they got on. Martinez, bit similar to Leno, bit of a passenger, not a ton to do. He had no chance with a penalty. That's how penalties go. You either save them or you don't. You look silly or you don't. So he had one good save to make from a free kick, and the same as my comments to Leno's. He parried it, but he parried it way away from trouble. So that's all you can ask for him to do. And the thing for me is, it's enjoyable watching us win pre-season games, but I want to see our defence come under much more scrutiny. I know our midfield's good, I know our attack's good, and it's up there with some of the best in the league. But it's the defence that was the problem last year. Sucker punch goals, and that's for me where all the work's got to go in now before the season starts. That was the one for me again. So we had. Nothing for Bellerin because I've already given my comments on him. Chambers, really solid again. I really rate this lad. He's improved so much over the last couple of years, and he's our second best centre back for me by a long way. That move to Middlesbrough was a class touch because it was the making of him. He turned from a boy to a man. He looks so much more experienced, so much more clever, reads the game so much better, so much cool and calm in possession, which I think why Emery was playing him in that centre defensive mid to get him comfortable on the ball and playing out from the back. And like I say, I spoke to a few Middlesbrough fans who I know after that season there, and they said he was their player of the season, and he matured, progressed nicely throughout the season. So for me, he's our second best centre back, and for me, our starting position, our starting centre backs for me to start the season, if I had to choose right now, it'd be him and Mustafi. And then the two Greek boys as our backup centre backs, Socrates and Mavro, and Holding as just a spare part. Let's get on to Rob. Stunning header for the goal, great old looper from a good 18 yards out, cracking goal. But for me, that was the only high point of his play. So ropey. He was giving the ball away for fun again today, and I just don't think he can be relied upon. And for me, he's where Callum was 2 years ago. For me, he's got to go out on loan because I don't see him getting a ton of starts this year. And if he's just going to sort of sit on the bench and come off and get 10 to 20 appearances, it's not going to help him progress. So for me, he's the one I see going out on loan if we're going to loan somebody out. And I think it'd be the right move and let him go and cut his teeth somewhere where he'll play week in, week out, Championship where it's rough and ready and he'll learn fast. I know a few of you ain't going to like that, but don't hate me for it, guys. That's just my opinion. I think he's way down the pecking order at the moment, and based on his pre-season performances. Left back, Ainsley came on. What a player this lad is. He's just such a fabulous utility player. I was a bit upset to see him at left back. I'd rather see him in the position he'll probably play in this year, in the middle of the park, but it just shows his quality. You could play him in goal, you could play him up front, you could just have him washing the kits and he'd be brilliant at it. He'd smell fabulous like potpourri. He's that kind of guy. And I think it's nice that he's signed his new contract and all the hype's not around him, it's around these other young kids that are coming through. So I think it takes the pressure off him and it'll let him just ease into playing his own game. So I only see big things from him this year and a massive breakout season for him. And a thumbs up for me from him. Rambo, he looked a little off the pace again. To me, it looks like he's playing with the handbrake on, and this contract business is really on his mind. And he's not just playing his usual flowing game. It might be fitness, it might be something else, but for me, this cloud of this contract over his head needs to get sorted. The club needs to step up, he needs to step up, let's get it dealt with. We can't have this situation going on any longer, it doesn't suit anyone. I don't want to rattle on about it, but come on guys, get your fucking heads together. However much money's the difference, let's get a solution on it. Someone's got to say yes or no, and if someone says no, then let's get him fucking moved out. I think we could cope if we lost him. I really do, looking at the emergence of some other players. It'd be a big loss, but not that one that we couldn't survive from. Like I always say, the club's bigger than any player, and we'll always survive. We've seen better players go out the door, so yeah, it just needs to get sorted for me. It suits no one dragging on this long, so please let's have some resolution on that pretty soon. Emil, happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, mate. The big 18, big milestone in life, and what a way to introduce himself on the scene as a fully legal adult, Bit of a shame that his present was blistered feet. That was a bit shit. Saying that though, I think my 18th birthday present was my stomach pumped and a shitload of 2020 down my throat. Cat piss and fucking pineapple or whatever the flavours were. A bit of Lambrini or whatever. So, what a player this lad is. He's another one. What a Rolls Royce of a player. It's great, such great vision, passing, movement, lovely ball for the goal. He's another one I'm going to run out of superlatives for. And my little chant for him the other day, to the old oops upside your head. I want to see the fans doing that round the Emirates, but row, row, row the goat, get him in the team. Very, very, very exciting. Watching him's like a dream. That's what I want to see us all doing round the ground next year, because this lad is fucking so exciting. And like I said to you guys last week, him, Guendouzi and Ainsley midfield three is the future, and if it is, wow, that future's bright. Bang your shades on, because you won't be able to stare directly at it. I could waffle on all day about these young lads at the minute, so I'm not going to, because this is probably already dragging like a seal's arse. Huge thumbs up for him again today in his little cameo appearance. It changed the game for me quite a bit. Willock, I've said it about Joe a few times now. The squad's going to have to get whittled down, and for me, he's the one that is miles off the pace and definitely needs a loan move. He's just not up to speed at all, and he looks lightweight. He doesn't look up to pace. I'm not giving up on him. I don't think he's a bad player. I think there's plenty of talent in there. He just needs to go and grow up a little bit and mature. So he's one I definitely want to see go out on loan. Eddie on the left, that was a new one for me. I can't remember if I'd seen that last year in the youth setup or not. Another one, absolutely fabulous player. So lively. And as I've said a few times, he's such a great mix of Righty and Thierry. Like they nipped off in the change rooms for 5 minutes and, gave each other a good seeing to and produced this lad, and he's their love child. Another one that's only got a huge future for me, and he's got great killer instincts. Real predator in and around the box, and he showed off the left today. He can beat a man with quick feet and tricks, and then he can whip a shot in from anywhere. So he's another one. Maybe he'll be like Oba, that we can play down the middle and play on the left, which is something I hadn't thought about. So big thumbs up for him again today. And his goals, the first one a little bit cheeky, nabbing it on the line, nutting it in, but. You want that from your striker. Don't guarantee that it's going over the line. Fucking make sure and apologise to Laka 5 minutes later, because he'd do the same the other way round. It's a team game, not about individuals, so make sure for the team that ball goes in. And right place at the right time for me. And his second goal, great little run off the shoulder, bit of time, and like all good strikers and the best strikers for me, how you get taught in five-a-side, low and hard in the bottom corners. Don't matter how many goalkeepers and how good the goalkeepers are, they just can't save them. Fabulous little worm burner right in the bottom corner off the post. Beautiful stuff. Fabulous. Really happy with that. And 2 goals for the lad. So another big positive, and reasons to be cheerful. Last but certainly not least, Laka. Rude boy. I told you guys that he's not as exciting as Oba, but he comes with his CV's just as stacked. I was super excited when we signed him, and I'm just as excited now, and I think he's going to do some serious damage this year, and he's a massive sleeper for a lot of people in the Premier League. I've seen these stupid top 5 strikers, you've got Firmino's in there, Sane's in there, whatever, whoever we're talking, Morata. This guy pisses all over the lot for me, and he's proved it for years. These guys have done it for a year. This guy's been doing it his entire career. And he's another one, he's such a good fox in the box, and the same predatory instinct, and the likes of Eddie must be learning from him, because his movement's fabulous. First goal, that run to the front post, nicking in front of a player, and although he might not have got the final touch, you've got to give him credit that he's putting the defender under the pressure to make the mistake. And second goal again, great movement, little header off the post, unlucky it didn't spin in for him. But he could have had 2 goals. I sort of count it as he got 2. I'm not going to take any credit away from him. And for me, he's going to be a massive player for us this year, and go at a goal every couple of games. And like I say, he might not be as flashy as Oba, but he's just as impressive for me. You're not going to see him ghost from the halfway line past 6 or 7 players and wrap one in the top corner. But what you will see a lot of him is quick feet shifting it, getting that yard of space and wrapping it in the top corner in and around the box. And that's all you can be expected of him. And I think you're going to see a lot of that this year. So yeah, huge for me. I thought he was brilliant, and when these lads came on in the second half, it completely changed the game. Like I say, first half, although it was tidy, it wasn't particularly exciting. Second half was much more lively. The good old exuberance of youth, these lads at 17, 18, 19 or whatever, fresh legs running for days. I was like that at that age, but chasing girls, I'd chase them morning, noon and night and never get tired, and that's how these lads play. And maybe that's how they'll be utilised a lot this season, especially in the league, coming off the bench against tired legs, and they've all got plenty of legs as well, Reese, Edda, Ainsley, Guendouzi, although he doesn't look that quick, I bet he was a lot faster than you realise. So yeah, I think the future's so bright for us at the minute. You look at sort of young lads we've got, and Leno, Hector, Kolasinac even's young, Mustafi's young, Chambers is young, Mavro's young, middle of the park, Guendouzi, Smith Rowe, Ainsley, Ossie Tutu you could even throw in there, Eddie, Reese. There's so many reasons to be cheerful at the minute. It's such an exciting time to be an Arsenal fan. And that was my second half analysis. 5-1 end result. We gave that penalty away. It was sloppy. But apart from that, we didn't really give them a ton of chances. We defended quite well as a unit, that I'm going to give us credit for. Goal for Ozil, an OG, I think it's gone down as 2 for Eddie and 1 for Holding. All round thumbs up for me today, guys. One or two negatives, but a shitload of positives and loads of reasons to be cheerful. It's really spurred on me for my Saturday now to go and enjoy the rest of it. Bit of boxing tonight. Hoping good old Dillian, Mr. White, can do the business. Whatever you guys do today, enjoy your Saturday. Sorry this has dragged a little bit and you've had to put with my face and my voice for a good 20 minutes. But whatever you're doing, guys, have a lovely Saturday. Come on, you Gooners. Come on, boys. Take it easy, peeps.